Hello, everybody, and welcome to the first ever live stream on this channel. I'm very excited to have you here today. Today, we're going to be talking through the process of working with Adobe Firefly's brand new structure reference tool and how you can use 3D workflows to craft some incredible images. So I released this video yesterday. It's just a little teaser. Basically, the idea of it is that you can use your whatever 3D software that you want to position some props and some geometry, and then use that render of just that very simple, like either primitives or simple models, and use that to drive an AI image inside of Adobe Firefly. So today I'm going to get into that. And the reason why I wanted to do this live was that this process is so incredibly easy. It's so fast, it's so simple that honestly, yesterday when I made the video, it took me more time to edit the video than it did to make all of these images that you're seeing. So I just kind of wanted to get into this a little bit. So for today, we're going to be taking a look at a couple of things. Let me have you go into the infinity. So Adobe Firefly. We'll start there. So as you may or may not know, Adobe Firefly is Adobe's generative AI tool. It is one of the only tools in the world that's commercially viable. So everything on Adobe Firefly is sourced from Adobe stock or public domain things or whatever. As other people have pointed out when I posted the video yesterday, like Stable Diffusion does the same thing. If you're more comfortable in Stable Diffusion and if you're just using it for private use, by all means, go for it. But generally, people that follow me are professional artists and have to worry about copyright infringement and things like that. So Adobe Firefly is your answer there. So the way that I'm going to do this is I'm going to be working in Substance Stager here. I'm also going to be utilizing some of the 3D assets from the Substance 3D asset library. This is just because I have a Substance subscription and I work for Adobe. But the overall thing is that you can use any 3D design software tool that you're comfortable with. You can even draw if you want. It basically is just ingesting images. But like I said, this is my way of doing it, and I wanted to share that with you all. So let's get into it. Well, first off, we're just going to start off where every 3D kickoff demo goes, and we're going to make some donuts here. We're going to make a donut, but we're going to do it faster than any other donut tutorial you've ever done before. So in order to do this, I'm just going to make a plane. I'm even going to do 3 donuts. Let's do 3 donuts here. So I'll make a plane, make it bigger. So it's just nice and big. I'm going to go ahead and create a torus. Great. Going to increase that torus ring. I want a nice, fat, plump little donut, or pipe radius, I guess it is. Yeah, that's a little juicy. A little too juicy even for me. I like that. All right, cool. So we've got a torus. Now I want to create a couple more. So I'm just going to hit Control-D to duplicate. Raise this guy up. Maybe move him over, kind of shift him a little bit. And do the same thing again here. Now you might be asking, why are you raising these up so high? It's because since we are in a 3D tool, I'm going to go ahead and utilize the collision tool inside of Substance Stager. So it's a little collision functionality there. As you can see me just checkboxing those little boxes there. And I'm going to go ahead and just shift select these, raise them up, and then just plop them on down there. Oh, they got that one just stacked up like an inner tube. Let me just slide these on over here a little bit more. Make them fall a little bit more naturally. Okay, great. So we got 3 donuts there. Awesome. That's the composition I want. I will create a camera. I will go into the object setting. I just want to make it more telephoto, like more realistic to how not 10 millimeters, we're going 100 millimeters on this lens. So we're just going to kind of zoom in here. All right, great. So I got this composition. This is the framing that I want. This is the aspect ratio, the focal length, everything's set up. Now I just want to use these to generate some AI images. Easily enough, I can just go into the render tab, and I can even just render out a simple PNG. There we go. So we got these stacked up here. This will take just about 5 more seconds to render. And in that time, I can hop over into Firefly and get started here. So now I'm just going to go ahead and start typing stuff in. So we're going to say pink donuts with sprinkles on a wooden counter. Just to kind of launch, this is just allowing us to launch the overall player. So while those are loading, and we're not going to use any of those because those are just generally Gen AI stuff, I'm going to start messing with these general settings. So I want to keep that widescreen 16:9 format. I want to make it, I want to do photo for now. We can do art later if we want. And then here's the important part. So this is the structure reference area on the screen left side. So if I click this button, I can now go to my downloads. and I'm sorry, my desktop, and go to my untitled because I didn't bother saving that out. And so this is going to give you a little pop-up. Just click continue. All right, now this is loaded in. Now we can set the strength of this, and I want to match this exactly. So we're going to turn that strength all the way up, and now you can scroll down here and say what you want to do with the image. So for me, we'll just we'll keep it very general for now, but for the color and tone, we'll keep it a little bit warmer, and for the lighting, I want to go with a little bit of. We'll do some studio lighting. We'll start with that for now, and then we can just click generate. And what it's going to do is it's going to read that structure reference in, make a photo with warm tone, studio lighting, again, pink donut sprinkles on wooden counter. And here we go. And there we go. So automatically, we've already got some images here. So you can go ahead and cycle through these. And this one, I like this one. They even threw in some extra ones in the background there. And now, when you're ready and you're feeling pretty good about it, you can go ahead and just click download. And I can save these exactly where I need them to go. So I'll just drop them in here. Make a new folder for render. This is normally the stuff I edit out. We'll go ahead and drop it in there. There we go. All right, cool. So now we can keep iterating on this. So now it's like we can say purple donuts on a marble. Oh, wait, here we go. I like to, when you're just kind of goofing around with coffee beans and leaves with a black slate platter with lilac flowers. So sometimes I like to use these suggestions just because Firefly is like, hey, I have a feeling that they're like, hey, I can do this stuff pretty well. So you might just want to use these. And then you can go from there. And the other thing while these are loading is to point out like, ooh, look at that. But that's kind of cool. Now the question is like, what would I use these for? And for me, it's just at this point, because like these don't really look like donuts to me. In a lot of cases, for me, this is still just like an ideation tool. This is me just like gathering reference, and I can either do this with like photography or I'm going to go back and really make these in 3D or something like that. Because the thing is like I remember I got real into food photography when I was younger, and it's just hard. It's hard to, like I don't want to buy 3 donuts because then I probably have to eat them, and if I don't, then I feel bad about wasting them. So it's like you have to like figure out ways to do it. So like this is a really nice way if you're on a budget. Again, and I'll show you some other ones with burgers and sushi and stuff after this. That if you don't necessarily want to do this stuff for real, it's a really great way to practice and train your eye and do all that kind of good stuff. So okay, so let's say I'm good with photos. I want to make this into some art, so you can click over to art. And let's see what we want to grab here. So from this sampling, I want to make these a watercolor painting this time. All right, great. So I click that. You can see it's added watercolor down here. Now, the one thing is that you may not want warm tone or studio lighting. I may want to change that around. And now I want dramatic lighting in my watercolor. So I can generate it from there. And so it's really easy, by the way, when you're doing this. Like one thing I do. Oh, look at that. See, this doesn't. These are kind of cool. Yeah, these are nice. All right, let's go. Let's make it futuristic too. I want to see a futuristic donut. So the other thing is just that is nice about this. Again, is it's just like you can kind of just rapid fire through it. So what I will do is, and by the way, if you are on YouTube and you are watching this, I haven't, good on you for finding me because I didn't advertise this at all. Oh, look at that. Ooh, they're glossy. That's what happens in the future. They just get glossier. Great. Okay, let's download one of these. Amazing. All right, cool. So that is the basic premise, right? You render out some simple images, you bring them in here, you set them up as your structure, and then you can go from there and iterate very quickly on it. Now, the second step of this is what I did a little bit more of, which was leveraging, because like sometimes, you can use simple stuff. You can, like I just used just a cylinder to do my whiskey glass yesterday. But there are times you want to like compose some stuff up a little bit more. So for that, I want to go jump into the Substance 3D asset library because this can really help you get some very specific things. So things like, let's see, I did hamburger. And I can go here and I can download this guy, this cooked burger, which I already have downloaded. And then you can take this into your 3D tool. So let's say I wanted to bring this in here. I can go to my models where I have it downloaded and I've got cooked burger, just drag and drop it into the scene. And now the nice thing is like this all comes in pieces. So like you can start to compose something that you wouldn't normally do. And I haven't tested this one, so I don't even know if this will work, but we'll just bring these up to kind of create like a little bit of a deconstructed burger thing. Just make it like an exploding, we'll call it an exploding burger. I need all those. This and this. All right. Now, one thing that I do like to do, running out of room here, pull those guys up and then pull the button back down. So the one thing that I do like to do sometimes is like if I'm worried that the whatever I'm, that Firefly's not going to understand that there are different objects here. What I will do is I will often go in and just to make sure to distinguish certain things from certain, like the background or whatever. You can go ahead and be like, okay, I'm going to go ahead and grab this bun and I'll just make this like a brighter color so that, you can ensure that everything's reading as something slightly different. And that way you're not running things together. So like all these materials of these three objects are all kind of linked together. So you can just go ahead and do that. And again, so it knows that everything's going. And the cheese is obviously different and just make that kind of yellow cheesy color. And the burger, great. So just to show you that you have this option again. And this isn't something that's like, again, unique to Stager. Use whatever you're most comfortable with. And let's say we go in here, go ahead and create my camera. Awesome. We will make this one wonky. We'll go like a 30 degree or 25 degree kind of a wide angle thing. Even go bigger than that. 20. Just kind of make this look like a tower of a burger. We'll shift this up here. All right, so we got a wide angle lens at it. Awesome. I will go ahead and just go ahead and render this out. Again, the renders are super fast because you're not rendering like full texturing, full lighting, anything like that. You can just use the default lighting on it. And now again, take this on over into Firefly. Now here's the big one. I like to clear everything out because if you don't do that, you'll forget, which I often do, which creates some fun examples, which I'll show you guys here in a minute. We will call this cheeseburger deconstructed. Now, again, I haven't practiced this one. We'll see if this works. Okay, great. Curious to see what comes out here. So structure reference. I didn't clarify whether it was photo or art. It just automatically does it here. So we'll see what kind of spits out. Oh, okay. Interesting. So I think this is it's trying a little bit too hard here. Okay, cool. But it's kind of getting the rough idea. I think what I want to do is I want to say deconstructed over rustic wooden background, dark wood table. No, I just want over white for now. We'll see what it looks like there. Just because I want to just like simplify this and just see what we got, and then we can kind of build out from there. Oh, that's kind of fun. I'm realizing that it's reading that as a double bun, but again, like none of this, like, ooh, this looks good. Again, like none of this stuff is. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, it's reading. I wonder what it's reading there. Let me see if there's something in the render. This is kind of nice. Again, but this is all just concept art, right? Oh, I see. Is there something down there? Because it almost wants to add. Just make this a little. Ooh, do it this way. Let's make it a little bit smaller. Maybe that's the issue. So scale this down by like 0.7. Oh, shouldn't do it that way. Break the connection 0.7 just to make it a little flatter. Great. Oh, I moved the camera. Stinker. There we go. And we will render that out again. Okay, pretty close. And so the nice thing about the fast renders is I can I almost race it over here, and I wait until I get, because I think I get that 3, 2, 1. Right, update it. And we'll go ahead and rerun it. But again, this is, if you're talking to a client, if you're trying to talk to your supervisor, your art director, whomever, and you're just trying to ideate on stuff, this is a very, very simple way to do it. And like I said, with food photography, it's really tough. I say this as somebody who worked for a burger related product for a little while, and you end up eating way too many cheeseburgers, and the peppers are kind of nice there. Yeah, so we'll go ahead and stick with that. All right, great. So that's another one there. Now, the other one that I wanted to show was, again, so we've got you don't want to eat a bunch of cheeseburgers or donuts because they'll make you fat. What if it's just expensive? And for that, I wanted to get into some art of sushi making. So let's go ahead and do that. So I went ahead again over to the asset library, grab some sushi. We got some cooked maki rolls. And again, these are pretty, these are pretty basic. This would take a lot of work to get them to be where we would want them to be from a 3D standpoint. And again, I love doing that work, and I plan on doing that work, and it's going to be awesome. But the thing is that I want to be able to visualize and concept out before I get started, so I know where to put my energy and I know where to put my focus when I'm actually building it out. So let's go ahead and make I think we should do a circle plate or a square plate. Let's do a square plate. That's a little fancier. And then we can go in here, and I think we can bevel these edges. Yeah. And then I'll shrink this down. Bring the height down to 1. Awesome. And then we can start taking the sushi and just start plopping that guy on there. Awesome. Now, for me, I think that one of the things that I love more than anything else in the world is some omakase, which usually comes out as one at a time. So for that, I want the egg, no urchin, stick with salmon. All right, cool. So I'll just take this, position it on the plate where I want it. It is a little bit bigger like that. Then you can rotate that out. All right, great. Now let's create the camera. Aspect ratio we want. Awesome. We will jump in. We'll do a real telephoto to get real up in there. Because again, if you're working for a client that's a restaurant, a restaurant that wants to create a new menu or something, and you're hey, I think this is the best way to photograph this stuff. Okay, great. So we'll highlight that right there. By the way, if I'm using Stager, if you have questions about how to use Stager, I've got a full tutorial in my YouTube channel. All right, cool. All right, great. We'll just stick with that for now. Render it out. And I could literally continue doing this all day. And believe me, I have. In that I will definitely, actually, you know what? Let's look at this. So I can see that the background is the table. What I would want to be the tabletop is matching the color of the plate a little bit too much. And so I just want to make sure that, and same thing with this, we'll just make sure that they're nice and distinctly different. And it doesn't actually matter what color they are, just that, because you just want to give you just want to give Firefly a chance to create the distinguished pieces. All right, cool. We'll go out. Great, awesome. And you know what? Even if you want, I'll show you this. So even if you want, we're ray tracing this, which is helpful. Even if I don't want to do that, I can switch this render over to real-time render engine, which renders almost immediately. It takes less than a second. And so I can go in here now, clear out these prompts, go in, we'll do a photo reference. We will go back and grab our entitled. And you know what? Just for the heck of it, we're going to make a cheeseburger sushi. We're just going to say cheeseburger with chicken, cabbage, and tomatoes. What kind of monster? Okay, we'll just say cheeseburger in a wooden background. Just because one of the things that's fun about this is you can literally just do whatever. And I was playing around with this earlier today, and you can quickly start to see oh, it's kind of a fun idea. It's kind of a fun concept to make different food in the shape of the other food. Look at that. That's ridiculous. Yeah, so I think I am taking some time off next week, but when I come back, I definitely want to play around with like sushi burgers and pasta ice cream cones. And like, let's like, again, the AI is all about getting weird with it. Let's just definitely get weird with it. But okay, we'll say instead salmon sushi with caviar and chopsticks on a black background. Yes, that's the kind of level I'm looking for. That's the kind of omakase style that I need in my life. That's not uh, that doesn't cost me, $200 a person at a fancy dinner. So, oh, look at that. See? And we've already got, ugh, that's sushi on sushi. I would not, that's not that good. Okay. These look phenomenal. Oh, all right. This one's my favorite. I'm going to go ahead and download this guy. Oh, welcome to your thumbnail for this one as well. Except for now, I want to say, you know what? I'm going to switch over to an art style. Let's get it. I want a cyberpunk one. Cool. With a cyberpunk. It's made out of fabric. No, we'll say chaotic. We'll say a chaotic one. All right, cool. Generate this again. See what we get. But you can see this is gonna be, I swear this is my last generative one. Because again, it's just kind of a repetitive process. You just, whoa, that's kind of fun. And again, like this is something that I would not have naturally thought of to do with, oh, that's pretty. Like I would not have thought of to do this, right? It's a way of getting stylized reference that I can then go back into my 3D application. I can go back into Substance Painter and be like, okay, I want to paint it like this because I actually want to create this style. This last one. Oof, it's weird looking. All right, cool. Download and away. All right, cool. So that's going to be it. So now, like in the last, I don't even know how long this video takes. I should probably have paid attention to that. But if we go into my renders here, I've got a handful of different renders of burgers, of donuts of various sizes, of sushi. And again, like how long would it have taken you to go on Google, look around, to get the proper reference image, to da-da-da. Like this is this quickens your process, right? It allows you to be an artist. It allows you to continue to do the things that you do well. And it just allows you to visualize this stuff out. So I hope you found this beneficial. If you do, please leave comments in the section down below, in the comment section down below, and I will see you next time. All right, take care, everyone. He says as he doesn't know how to shut it down. There we go. 3, 2, 1. Bye.